go for this eco. They had 7,000 on 2 players, but wanting full economy to go for one of these rounds, feeling like these quasi-buys, these half-buys, when they're not playing, running off gas, they aren't able to pull it through. Nexus, obviously, just applying the pressure to these Estonians here today.
I don't think that this was a good idea. Like, only one player was missing substantial amounts of money on their side. Only one guy had 1.5k, and they could have easily dropped a rifle at 2, but alright, we'll see how that works out. But this could backfire so much. Nexus are pretty much granted that 14th round, given for free, with already 2 people advantage and not losing a single hit point. And then what happens next? Like, was some of them are gonna have nearly 9,000. Do you pull off some nasty strats with an auto sniper at this stage or something like that? Like, you've got so much. Like, why not go for a buy right there? Spare with a triple, peeking in from the tunnels through the squeaky. No punishment for him, and Kaporin gets the headshot on IGM. Only 1 man remaining. They pick up an AK. They win this round. What the hell that just happened? This round was not supposed to work at all. They're not looking at their packs. They're losing 3 people to just a single guy with a deagle by looking the wrong way. By not picking up the pace at this stage of 5v3, they were still afraid. And it seems like not afraid enough. Or maybe too much.
Taking their minds out the game for just 1 second. And the deagle rains through. Round 28 ends in heartbreak. Dodds having to get aggressive. You can see Nexus forced to go for this force. BTN's got to find that opening shot. Spotting out Dodds as well. He's being wrapped around on, and he can't rattle off the bullets in time. 15 rounds for Waz. Obviously match point here. A spot in the upper bracket in the making.
Spare donating the AWP over to Zello. Oh, this IGM's getting such an easy kill with the deagle, and Nexus. They can still throw that. I still have the previous round in mind, and just look at that. NJ down to 16. They're losing the AWP. They have only an M4 from the reliable weapons, and already losing that UMP 45. Now NJ's going to have an AK. That's much better. Tintin in a 1v2. The bomb is planted. Can he get that down? NJ's gone, but it was the easy target. He's going to get the headshot on the full health guy, though. And that's 16-13. I never imagined such an outcome when I called the 16-13 before the match started. Somehow the scoreline is exactly that in terms of the rounds, but how the rounds looked like, it's not how I thought it would be.
In terms of just a game of Counter-Strike from start to finish, I think that's as good as it gets, really. Obviously, we've got so many people watching right now for a game of this caliber, and they were leading at no point. There were no great comebacks or anything. It was just such a scrimmy game from start to finish. 16-13, it was 5-5, 10-10, 8-8. Everybody really picking up the pace. Nobody really lacking behind. No actual superstars getting 40 frags or something crazy. It was everybody. Team efforts chipping in. But of course, Nexus just weren't good enough this time. They'll be going to the lower bracket as WASD continue their Legend Series journey. They've had a lot of success here at ELC. Obviously, the champions of last series. That's why they got invited to this group stage straight in. Not having to qualify in any way, getting the straight invite on through. Now they find themselves in this upper bracket match.
And that's really good to see, and wondering how they'll do against Windigo. So that's going to be a pretty big challenge, even bigger than Nexus, I think. Yeah,
possibly. And obviously Windigo, I called it earlier, the top seed in this group, probably the toughest opposition for any of these teams. I think they might have bitten off more than they can chew coming into this game. Obviously, we do see this losers match first. If you are here for Nexus versus Windigo, that'll be coming in, or WAS versus Windigo, that'll be coming in just over an hour's time. But right now, the next match is this losers match. We'll be finding one to get eliminated. It's on your screen now, Nexus versus VenatoreS. What a game.
Yeah, going to be lovely to see. And wondering who's going to take that. I mean, Nexus have to do it if they want to really show up in the group, because otherwise dropping out on the 4th place, it's something that they definitely weren't aiming at.
It's actually upsetting. I like both of these teams. It's going to be difficult to see one of them drop here today, and you can see the next match at 8 o'clock, Windigo versus WASD Sports. Make sure you're staying tuned for that one as well. If you're talking about this next game, this losers match, who do you expect to be going home out of these two teams?
Probably VenatoreS.
VenatoreS, yeah.
They didn't show up too much in the match against Windigo. They weren't like crushed. They got a couple of rounds here and there, but as I said, they were not adaptive enough. They were not creative enough. It seemed like they had an idea of what the game's supposed to look like, and when something else happened, they were completely defenseless. Help.